What's good, John? I'm about to react to the creepiest Courage the Cowardly Dog episode ever by Made to Express. Alright, you guys know that I am a huge Courage the Cowardly Dog fan. I love Courage the Cowardly Dog. It was definitely one of those childhood shows that I could never forget. Now, if you look back at my old YouTube, this was like one of the first videos where they were showing all the creepy moments of Courage the Cowardly Dog, all the memorable creepy moments by Watch Mojo, I think like around 2 years ago. And, you know, you guys know I'm such a huge fan of it. But yeah, I'm trying to remember what was the creepiest episode of Courage the Cowardly Dog. There's been a couple, so it's really hard to pin down, but yeah, let's see what they got in store for us. And
it's been said a billion times already, but Courage the Cowardly Dog is the definition of nightmare fuel. Or at least it was when we were kids. The brilliance behind the show, however, is how it used its chilling vibes to tell a story. And not just because
that was a sad episode. Oh my god.
As a kid, it's kind of hard to notice this, but as an adult, it makes you love the show even more. There is an episode with a scene so unforgettable, so bizarre, and so spine-tingling that anyone who is a die-hard fan of the show knows exactly.
Oh my god, no.
That scene is from the episode King Ramses' Curse. We'll get into that scene later. But there is a valuable life lesson in this episode that I didn't even recognize until recently. The episode starts with the police chasing after these two robbers because they stole an Egyptian stone slab from the tomb of King Ramses that is worth $1 million. Eventually, the robbers come to the realization that it would be best to hide the slab and come back for it later. They are confronted by the ghost of King Ramses, who demands that his slab be returned to where it belongs, or else the thieves will suffer his curse. Meanwhile, Courage wonders what all the commotion is about, and the next morning he goes outside to check. He finds a mysterious patch on the ground, so curiously, he digs it up until he finds the stolen slab. Courage shows the slab to Muriel, who then shows it to Eustace, but he thinks it's trash, so he throws it out the window and calls Courage a stupid dog. But watch how fast he flip-flops once he finds out how much the slab is worth. $1 million slab stolen from the tomb of King Ramses.
Always about money.
Muriel suggests for Eustace to return the slab to his rightful place, but Eustace immediately rejects that offer because he's greedy and doesn't know better. Courage knows karma is about to hit them hard, so he does his panic charade dance to warn them of King Ramses' wrath. A professor comes and tries to reclaim the slab, but his offer isn't good enough for Eustace's stubborn behind. 25 more seconds of Courage panic dancing later, and the dark time has come. Ladies and gentlemen, the ghost of King Ramses.
Return the slab.
Oh my god.
Return the slab, or suffer my curse.
What's your offer?
One thing I appreciate about this show is how experimental it was with its direction. And in this case, blending in CGI elements with its 2D animation. It definitely catches the eye and makes these characters memorable.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
Eustace that if he fails to follow his orders, he would be visited by 3 deadly plagues, each one worse than the last. Now, after witnessing that, guess what Eustace decides to do?
Who's he kidding?
So, without hesitation, the ghost unleashes
I don't remember what
the first plague. First, it starts raining inside the house, then a flood quickly forms. Courage manages to find a drain to save them from drowning. The ghost gives Eustace another chance to return the slab, but Eustace replies with...
What's your offer?
So the second plague is let loose, in which he irritates the crew with his theme song. Courage desperately looks for the world's loudest record player so that he can shut off the world's most annoying music. He ends up finding it and beats the crap out of it. Eustace makes an offer to return the slab if, and only if, he has paid his $1 million, and that level of greed is enough to trigger the third and final plague. An infestation of insects that destroys everything in their path.
Right.
Courage has finally had enough of Eustace's stubbornness and tries to take the slab away from him. Meanwhile, Muriel is doing this for some reason. I don't know, maybe a coping mechanism? Eustace eventually gives up, realizing that they'll be devoured if he doesn't. Courage then throws the slab out the window, and all's well that ends well. Except their house is 80% annihilated. Get this, even after all that, Eustace still feels the need to retrieve the slab. Believing the ghost used all of his weapons, Eustace starts taunting, but King Ramses just reuses his third plague. And Eustace gets what he pretty much deserves, honestly. The next day, Mario and Courage watch TV as if nothing ever happened. I must say, Mario has to be the most optimistic woman in the universe if she can somehow make herself comfortable knowing that she most likely doesn't have the insurance to pay for this damage. Anyway, she wonders where Eustace is, and apparently she hasn't divorced him at this point. We are then taken to the tomb of King Ramses, and there's Eustace, who has replaced Ramses on the slab as punishment for his greed. It's one of the 7 deadly sins. Greed creates separation, ruins relationships. It's something we see every day on the news, social media, and in the modern world. If we are not careful, greed can easily take control of our lives without us even realizing. And it's not just a money problem. I see it all the time, and it's something that I struggle with as well. The obsession for more likes, followers, statuses, that ridiculous misconception that we're better than other people simply because of a number. It's one of the most fundamentally broken concepts, yet most of us still believe it. I'm not saying don't hustle for money, because at the end of the day, we all need it to survive in this world. And there's nothing wrong with growing yourself as an individual. Doesn't matter if you're broke or if you're a billionaire. But it's absolutely important to question our intentions and why we want the things that we desire. Do we want these things just to be rich? Just to be, quote, unquote, cooler than other people? Or is there a legitimate purpose behind it? Whatever it is, it's never worth robbery. It's never worth keeping $1 million items for ourselves without permission from the owner. And it's never worth ruining the lives of innocent people. Karma is real. So next time you notice greed taking control of your life, remember the fate of Eustace and remember the ghost of King Ramses. This was made to express. Thanks for watching. Very simple.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, greed isn't just, other than, talk about the video too. But other than, just, greed's everywhere. Everybody has wants and needs. That's how it is. I have wants. Everybody has wants. Some shit you just can't control. No matter what anyone says, you might want. Everybody wants something they don't have. Everybody wants something they have. Everybody wants money. Everybody wants recognition. Everybody wants... list goes on. Everybody wants something they don't have. But beside that point, let's talk about this episode. This is probably the most memorable episode I got. This is the only episode I remember that truly as I get older, realize how creepy it was. I was like, how? Just how? And like, it never really clicked to me how creepy and weird it was when I watched it as a kid. Which was like, you know, it's a cartoon, it's funny, it's, you know, all this. Now that I'm older, I'm starting to realize this was mad creepy and weird and all that. Oh, excuse me. So yeah, it's just probably like a really, it's just creepy memory that I had about this show, but it is what it is. Anyway, y'all, please like, subscribe, turn on post notification. The original video will be in the description below. Comment if you guys want a shout out on here or Instagram or Snapchat or whatever. Just let me know and I will give you guys a shout out at the end of the video. But anyway, y'all, deuces.